What if I told you the sun is already slowly killing Earth, and one day, it will erase almost every trace that humanity ever existed? That sounds impossible. The sun feels constant, reliable, eternal. But hidden inside its blazing core, a countdown has already begun. Right now, the sun burns through an unbelievable 661 million tons of hydrogen every single second. That's the fuel keeping our world alive. But every second that passes brings us one step closer to the end. And here's the strange part. The sun doesn't need to explode to destroy us. As hydrogen turns into helium, something unexpected happens. The sun grows brighter. Slowly, relentlessly. Every billion years, it becomes about 10% more luminous. That may not sound dangerous, but on a planetary scale, it's catastrophic. Fast forward 1.5 billion years. Earth won't be frozen or shattered. It will be cooked. Global temperatures begin rising beyond anything life has ever experienced. Oceans start evaporating. Rivers disappear. Clouds vanish from the sky. The blue planet transforms into a scorching wasteland. But here's the mystery. If Earth dies, where does life go? As the sun grows brighter, the habitable zone moves outward. Suddenly, Mars enters the spotlight. The same barren red world we struggle to explore today could become humanity's greatest refuge. For the first time, Mars may have temperatures capable of supporting liquid water. But that creates a new question. Could humanity really abandon Earth forever? And this is where it gets weird. Mars would only be a temporary solution, a cosmic lifeboat drifting toward an even bigger disaster. Because while humanity adapts to new worlds, the sun continues changing, growing, expanding, evolving into something far more terrifying, something that will eventually transform the entire solar system. And when that transformation begins, 7.5 billion
even
Mars
Mars
won't
from now.
be safe. The solar system
that's not
faces a
even the craziest
nightmare
part.
unlike anything humanity has ever imagined. The sun runs low on hydrogen, and everything changes. Instead of shrinking, the sun begins swelling into a colossal red giant. At first, it seems slow. Then the destruction accelerates. Mercury is vaporized completely. Venus loses its atmosphere and is swallowed whole. And Earth? Earth doesn't survive. The oceans are long gone. The atmosphere has vanished. What remains is a scorched iron core orbiting a star that no longer resembles the sun we know. But here's the strange part. Humanity may still be alive. If civilization survives long enough, it could already be living far beyond Mars. And that's when an unexpected world enters the story. Europa, a frozen moon orbiting Jupiter. Today, Europa is covered by thick layers of ice. But under the heat of a growing red giant sun, that ice begins melting. An entire ocean world emerges. A new home, a new civilization, a second chance. Or so it seems. Because what happens next changes everything. The sun keeps expanding. Bigger, brighter, more violent. At its peak, it could shine nearly 3,000 times brighter than today. Imagine standing under a sky where the sun dominates everything. By then, even Pluto could become too warm for comfort. Think about that. A world once considered frozen beyond imagination suddenly becomes threatened by heat. And now humanity faces another impossible choice. Move again, further, farther than ever before, toward distant dwarf planets hidden in the Kuiper Belt. The descendants of humanity may look back at Earth as little more than a myth, a forgotten birthplace lost in cosmic history. But the greatest twist is still ahead. Because the death of the sun doesn't happen the way most people think. Most people imagine the sun ending in a massive explosion. But that's not what happens. And the truth is far stranger. After billions more years, the sun exhausts its remaining fuel. Its outer layers become unstable. It begins pulsing like a dying heartbeat. Then it starts shedding itself into space. Layer after layer. The giant that once dominated the solar system slowly tears itself apart. And this is where it gets weird. The sun doesn't become larger. It becomes smaller, much smaller. The enormous red giant collapses into a white dwarf roughly the size of Earth. Imagine compressing nearly all the sun's remaining mass into something no bigger than our planet. The result is one of the strangest objects in the universe. A star corpse, blazing with radiation, yet producing far less heat. The habitable zone shifts once again. Entire civilizations may need to migrate across the solar system for survival. But that's not even the biggest problem. A white dwarf can glow for trillions upon trillions of years, far longer than human history, far longer than civilizations, far longer than almost anything we can comprehend. Eventually, even that light fades. The sun stops shining, stops warming, stops illuminating the darkness. Yet it doesn't disappear. Its gravity remains. Its mass remains. Its ghost remains. Scientists believe it may eventually become something called a black dwarf, a completely dark stellar remnant. Here's the shocking twist. No black dwarf has ever been observed. Not one. Because the universe itself isn't old enough for them to exist yet. Think about that. The final stage of our sun lies beyond anything humanity has ever witnessed. Beyond recorded history. Beyond modern science. Beyond experience itself. So here's the question that remains unanswered. When the sun finally dies, and the last traces of the solar system fade into darkness, where will humanity be?